Dave Seminara, former diplomat to Macedonia, Trinidad and Hunngry, just wrote about this issue in the Wall Street Journal and joins us now. Kind of bewildering. Why make the change?
It's a good question. I'd like to hear the State Department come on the show and try to explain it. But no, it's worked well for 98 years. For 98 years, you had to pass this exam to become a Foreign Service officer. I took the test. I passed it. I didn't think it was actually that difficult. You had to get a score of 154 on the multiple choice portion of the exam, even to have your essay graded. But starting in June, that will no longer be the case.
All right. So, in fact, Ned Price did not come on the show. I don't know if we asked him. We'll ask him tomorrow. But he did take questions about this in the briefing. Take a listen to the Foreign Service test.
To meet the Secretary's goals to modernize American diplomacy, win the competition for talent, and ensure that all applicants can present a full picture of their qualifications, the Department of State today is announcing improvements to the Foreign Service selection process. The department is moving away from the Foreign Service Officer test as a pass-fail gateway test and expanding focus on a candidate's education and experience for a more holistic approach in the selection process.
So to win the competition for talent and ensure that everybody's great, we're going to allow people who fail the test to come on. How much of this do you think has to do with the idea that diversity is going to solve all problems?
All of it. I would venture a guess to say 99.9% of it, if not 100% of it. I mean, you just heard a lot of nonsense there, a lot of diplomatic doublespeak. I mean, we all know what this is about. They're talking about a more holistic approach, but that's really not the case, because right now you've already got people with very impressive resumes and who passed the test. So it's not an either or proposition. It's not like, okay, either we hire people who have really impressive backgrounds or we hire people who can pass a test. State Department's already full of people who pass the test and who have great resumes. So that's nonsense.
Okay, so let's put it this way. What's the risk of doing this? Because so much of diplomacy, forgive me, is a lot of cocktail parties, but there's also real risks. What are they?
Well, I think, first of all, I do take issue with the cocktail party thing. Believe it or not, you don't get to drink as many cocktails as you probably think in the State Department. I wish it were that way, but I wouldn't say that. However, I think the risk is you want to have a fair system, right? You want Americans who want to represent their country as diplomats overseas to feel like it's a fair, equal process where they're not going to be discriminated against. So the risk is just that, is that you discriminate people, you discriminate against disfavored groups in the name of equity and diversity. That's the risk.
Well, I guess the flip side, though, is what's the risk of having these people who haven't even passed the test being out there? These are the people representing America. It's not, this is not a, this is not the playground or the Department of Agriculture where, maybe we get extra corn or not. This is life or death.
Right. Well, I think it undermines everyone who comes in under the new regime. And I think that it really also undermines esprit de corps, because there's a certain feeling, having been in the Foreign Service myself, like, hey, we all got here via merit, right? We all passed that test. We all got through it. But starting in June, you're not going to have that case anymore. So I think some of the, more veteran Foreign Service officers who have been there for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, that whole group who's passed the test will look at the new era suspect. Like, if someone doesn't seem competent, they might feel like, maybe this person got in because they bombed the test, right?
Yeah, are they here because they passed the test and are really good in representing America well, or are they here because they check a few boxes that make us look better when we present our diversity data to the Inspector General? Hey, Dave, this was a great conversation. I want to have you back sometime and talk real State Department stuff as it relates to what's happening overseas, all right?
My pleasure. Yeah. Thank you, Leland.
Thanks. Good to see you. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.